I wasn't looking for Christianity. I had no desire for Christianity. I just wasn't even interested in Christianity. And I didn't want to be one of those people. I had no desire to be what I perceived a Christian to be. What God did to me that evening, I had no choice from that point on but to pursue God. When you're presented with an experience like that, there's no rejecting it. There's no walking away from it. Your mind is blown, and it changes everything. I was a traveling sales rep at the time, so spent a lot of time in hotels. And there's always a Gideon's Bible sitting on the table, and I decided one evening that I had a desire to open it up. So I did. That kind of became this habit where every night I went to the hotel room and I'd just pop open the Gideon's and I'd read a little bit more. And I heard somebody, I think it was Chuck Swindoll, he said, start with the Gospels. So, and I didn't even know what the Gospels were at that point, so I started reading the accounts of Jesus in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And then I came across a statement that Jesus said, which was, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened. And that just hit me like a challenge. Like God was telling me, or Jesus was saying, if you ask, it'll be given. So I started praying to God in a very childish way. You know, hey, God, you said that if I ask, that you'd give it to me. So I'm asking. And I'm not going to ask forever. I kind of challenged him a little bit. So if you're real, you know, you're gonna have to show me, because I don't know how long I'm going to ask. And quite honestly, I don't really expect anything to happen. So I did that, if I'm remembering correctly, you know, probably for 5 or 6 weeks. Every night I'd read a little bit, and then I'd say this prayer like, okay, I'm waiting. You know, you're going to have to show me something, because I'll be out of here soon if you don't tell me what's going on here. And I fully did not anticipate anything to happen. I truly didn't. Because quite honestly, while the reading was entertaining, I just didn't expect that there would be a result from it. One evening, I got to the hotel. It had been a very long day. I'd left early in the morning to get to where I was going. And it was about 7 o'clock, and I was tired. I'd been going at it for 13, 14 hours. And I got into my hotel room. Gideon's is sitting on the table, and I was like, man, I'm just too tired. So I threw my bag on the bed, and I flopped down in the incredibly comfortable Red Roof Inn chair. And I just knocked my head back, and I closed my eyes. And I'd say within probably 90 seconds, God gave me what I needed. This is the hard part for me, because to try to put into words what happened is very difficult. The first thing I sensed was a presence of something. And it was the presence of something that was outside of me, moving or impacting the inside of me. And I kept my eyes closed I felt a very bright, clean white. It's the best I can explain it. It felt white here, like bright, insanely bright white. And it was centered right in my chest. And it was incredibly enjoyable and incredibly terrifying at the same time. And that doesn't make any sense. I knew that God was answering my prayer. It was terrifying. It felt like God was in the room with me. That's a hard thing to deal with. It felt as though if I had opened my eyes, that Jesus Christ would be standing right in front of me, looking at me. So I didn't open my eyes because I truly thought if I opened them that he would be there. And there is just something about the presence of God that is very frightening. A lot of people say, well, that could be a lot of different things. No, it couldn't. I knew that it was God. I knew what it was. If God wants to let you know he's there, you know it. And there's no mistaking it. It felt like he took his finger and just stuck it right into my chest. It knocked me out of the park, man. I was stunned in a good way, in a fearful way. I'm eventually going to have to open my eyes. And I truly was very afraid to do that. I remember sitting there with my eyes closed and actually chuckling, like laughing during the experience, because it was impossible for me to believe that this actually happened. I eventually did open my eyes, and I fully expected to see Christ standing there in front of me. He wasn't. I was also terrified that the feeling would go away, and it didn't. It took, I would say, maybe 12 to 18 hours for the feeling to kind of dissipate, but there was a remnant of the feeling there. And so I opened my eyes and I looked around the room, and I couldn't believe what just happened. So I got up. The first thing I did is I walked out of the door, and I was on a red roof on the second floor, and there's a big cement balcony that lines up the doors, all down this balcony. So I walked out on the balcony, and I was overlooking this highway. I think I was in Dayton, Ohio. And the world looked completely different to me. I looked at the world and felt separated from it. And I was able to look at it almost as kind of an outsider. And I remember saying out loud to myself, none of this matters. None of this is important. And that's how I saw it. It was like there is something so much bigger and so much greater than this. And it completely changed my life. Completely changed my life. And so I started reading the Bible. I started listening to the Christian radio stations and listening to sermons online, and I learned more and more. And as I did that, I discovered the concrete reality of the Bible and its truth. I think it's unique in that nobody brought me to Christ. Nobody ministered to me. I wasn't looking for Christianity. I had no desire for Christianity. I just wasn't even interested in Christianity. And I didn't want to be one of those people. I had no desire to be what I perceived a Christian to be. What God did to me that evening, I had no choice from that point on but to pursue God. I had no choice. When you're presented with an experience like that, there's no rejecting it. There's no walking away from it. Your mind is blown, and it changes everything. It changes how you look at things. It changes how you see things. It changes how you hear things. It changes what you desire. And I had no choice. I had no choice. I was now a Christian. God doesn't give you a choice. When He decides to reach out to you, there's no choice. It's irresistible. You can't walk away. So anyway, that's my story. And I just felt a compulsion to share it. I don't know if it's interesting to you. I don't know if anyone is even going to watch this. But that's my story, and all I can say is, if you feel that something is reaching out to you and you have a desire to pick up the Bible, I recommend you do it. Because I know from personal experience that it's real. God exists. Jesus Christ was who He said He was. And there's just no denying it. There's no denying it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And hey, pick up that Bible and just start reading it. I would recommend starting with Luke or John, Gospel of Luke or John. It's right in the beginning of the the New Testament. And you gotta at least understand the story. At least fill in the gaps of your knowledge. And you might have somebody else filling up a gap that's in your heart. And that often happens when you don't even intend it to.